the beginning of the 21st century, the racing game genre was in high demand. Franchises such as Need for Speed and Burnout peaked at the top of the sales charts, but since then have fallen off. This ultimately led to the success of the Forza Motorsport series and allowed them to take hold of the crown. But has Turn 10 Studios begun to ease on the brakes, or have they left the competition in the dust? Celebrating their 10th anniversary, Turn 10 Studios invested a huge effort into making this game visually stand out, and boy did it pay off. The first time this is made apparent is right when you get to the menu screen. It's very well organized and makes navigating the different game modes a breeze. Ironically though, the most impressive aspect of it is how much it distracts you from playing the game. This is caused by the elegant beauty that is the background. Whatever car you currently have selected is on display. And I'm pleased to inform all my car junkies out there that you can inspect the living hell out of it. Through a series of rotating cameras, you can examine the exterior of your car, and for a more up-close and personal experience, you can open up the doors, hood, and trunk to gain further insight. Once your mind is able to comprehend how incredibly detailed each car design is, you'll notice specific icons that can be selected, some of which display statistics which ultimately showcase how your car is going to perform. Now, my favorite icon to select is the Forza Motorsport logo. Once it's been selected, a female narrator voice will begin to discuss the heritage of each car and the company behind it.
Using the combined technological force of McLaren's vast racing history, the McLaren P1 is a hypercar built with no compromise.
This is not only educational, but it also provides a more personal experience that gets you excited to bring the car on the track. Now, once the race begins, Turn 10 Studios again meets expectations. Whether you're racing on the snowy mountainside of the Bernese Alps, the cobblestone streets of Prague, or the more Formula One style racing of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, all 26 world-famous destinations are sure to please racing fans of all kinds. Some people consider racing games to be pretty straightforward. Hold down the right trigger to accelerate, hold down the left trigger to brake. But Forza Motorsport 6 is far more complex. With a car selection of over 450 vehicles, determining which one rightfully fits your playstyle can be incredibly fun. But it's after making that selection that the game makes each individual player feel completely unique. Whether you're swapping out the parts that make up your engine, platform and handling, or your drivetrain, choosing among the vast number of mechanical parts ultimately affects your car's rating and how it handles. However, the biggest influence on this is going to come from the tuning section of the main menu. This is where you're going to be able to manipulate things such as the PSI of your tires, your front and rear alignment, to even the brake pressure and balance of your vehicle. But it's when taking this incredible amount of customization to the track that the creativity truly shines. With 148 unique drivable surfaces, depending on how you've tuned your vehicle will ultimately affect how it performs on each one of them. The best example of this is with the implement of a rainy weather condition. Hydroplaning across a puddle at the end of a turn has never made a racing game feel so real. But with that being said, there are some gameplay features that were a little disappointing. For starters, the failure to implement snow as a weather condition was rather surprising, seeing how many racing titles from the past have done so. I also found that a number of the racetracks in Forza 6 contain some slow points. Now when I say that, I'm specifically talking about sharp turns. When coming to a sharp turn on any one of the tracks, every single player simply pumps his brakes, turns the corner, and starts to accelerate. It would have made the gameplay much more fun and fast-paced if instead drifting was more effective. Forza 6 was strategically released in September before the holiday season. This way, they're not competing in a crowded market full of AAA titles. But the concern on every consumer's mind is whether or not they're still going to be playing it in a few months. The short answer to this is hell yes. Forza acts as the perfect game to play when you want to take a break from your typical shooter, and Turn 10 Studios does a damn good job of keeping the player engaged. The first way they accomplish this is through their lengthy and very educational career mode. Through a series of 5 different volumes, you'll experience everything from street cars all the way up to your Formula 1 racers. The educational part comes from the narrator explaining the culture behind each volume and the racetracks within them. And if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I've learned more about the subject of motorsports by playing this game in the last week than I have in the last 10 years of my life.
Your next race will be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Originally paved with 3.2 million bricks, 1 yard of which remain at the finish line.
Now, once the game carries over into multiplayer, you might find yourself overcome with frustration. The lack of ability to create a public lobby means every time you hop online, you're most likely going to join a match in progress. Now, for the impatient people out there, I can see this being a problem. Another issue I have with the multiplayer is the fact that they don't have a game mode specifically for people who enjoy playing on simulator difficulty. This means you play without assisted steering, assisted braking, and you manually have to shift gears. It makes for a very realistic experience, and I myself truly enjoy it. But if you want to use those settings online, unfortunately, you're going to find yourself at a disadvantage. My biggest issue has to do with the collision mechanics when playing online. For some reason, if I'm playing single player mode and another car hits me, there doesn't seem to be much of an issue. But when playing multiplayer, if an opposing racer happens to even slightly hit me, I jolt forward about 5 to 10 yards, spin completely out of control, and 9 times out of 10, end up placing near last. Now, judging from the hundreds of complaints that I've witnessed in either online forums or a number of different social media websites, Turn 10 Studios would be very wise to fix this either in a future update or their next game installment. Forza Motorsport 6 is by far the best looking racing game to date. The amount of time spent designing each and every car and racetrack with incredible detail pays off in a big way. The insane amount of customization, whether it be through upgrades or tuning your vehicle, help create a unique experience for the player, the likes of which you won't find on any other racing game. But when it comes to how long you might be playing it, with the exception of a few multiplayer issues, there's no doubt that you'll be burning rubber for months to come. This installment is the best of the series and has created a brand new standard for what a racing game should look like. Turn 10 Studios should pat themselves in the back. Forza 6 receives an 8.8 here on Thug Life Gaming. What's up guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that review of Forza, but let me know what you thought of the video with a comment below. Click that thumbs up button and share the video with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, what was that? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over how badly you want this YouTube channel to fail. Because you won't subscribe. Alright, but let's get into a little bit of fan recognition for you guys. Let's start things off with our comment spotlight. This week's comment spotlight goes to Anthony Brandon, who's getting the spotlight because he leaves more comments than any other fan, which I truly appreciate. It helps me out, and it's always fun to hear what you have to say. So thank you, man, for being so damn consistent. But now let's get into the shout out of the week for those of you that are helping to promote Thug Life Gaming and to get the word out. This week's winner goes to PR Sands. I hope I'm saying that right. It might be Per Sands, like multiple people. That's not how you spell it, but maybe that's it. I don't know. Anyway, I really love this guy's email that he recently sent me because he mentioned how he constantly tells people to come to the YouTube channel and subscribe, which ultimately, grows the channel, it grows the community, and helps me towards making this YouTube channel massively successful. So thank you, man. You deserve a shout out. But now let's find out who got the Thug of the Week. Now, if you yourself want to get the Thug of the Week, or perhaps nominate one of your friends or family members, all you have to do is fill out the form on the contact page of thuglifegaming.com, letting me know what makes you a thug. This week's winner goes appropriately to gamertag KillaStewie61. Now, I say appropriately because I know he loves the Forza franchise. He's gonna get this game, and I'm sure he's watching this video right now. But he's getting the Thug of the Week for two reasons. First of all, because of how hardworking he is. He's consistently getting awesome grades in school, and he's helping out his family a lot, specifically his grandparents, which I feel like a lot of us don't do enough. Okay, let's get real. But also because he puts all of that hard work before video games. Now, a lot of us gotta get mixed up in blending the two, but it's awesome to see somebody really putting video games secondary, but truly making time for it. I mean, he's always playing video games, but he's balancing, you know, his responsibilities with playing the games, and we can all learn from that. So congratulations, man, you are a thug. Alright, but that's it for this video, guys. Again, thank you for tuning in. I'll see everybody here in a couple of days. You know the deal, baby. Keep living that life, hold up. Because that is what thugs do. I'm out of here, guys. Take it easy.